There's a quiet realization running through the world right now, spreading through the world. You can feel it in the exhaustion that people carry, in the confusion about what used to work but no longer does. The old ways of man, the systems, identities, and beliefs we built for the illusion of control. They're all beginning to burn away. Not all at once, not in some dramatic flash, but steadily, like dry wood in a slow fire. Structures that once felt permanent now feel fragile. Certainties that once guided our lives are losing their authority. And when that happens, it can feel frightening. Because when what you trusted begins to collapse, it forces deeper questioning. If the old foundations are falling, what's to remain? And what's to become? For a long time, humanity believed it could build a world without reference to the divine, without reference to God. We placed our faith in systems, institutions, technology, and human intellect alone. We believe that if we organized society correctly and accumulated enough through knowledge and engineered the right structures, we could secure meaning and stability. But the deeper truth is this: when humanity attempts to replace the divine center with its own ego, the structure eventually collapses under its own weight. The human mind is brilliant, there's no doubt about that. But it was never meant to be the ultimate authority. It was meant to be guided. So what we are witnessing now, it's not merely chaos. It's chaotic, but it's not merely chaos. It's exposure. The fire that seems to be consuming the old ways is actually revealing something. False securities are being stripped away. Identities built on approval, power, or comfort, they're cracking. Entire worldviews are losing their hold. And as uncomfortable as this may feel, this burning is not destruction for its own sake. Fire has always served another purpose. It cleans what is dead so that what is living can arise anew. Throughout spiritual history, moments like this have always carried the same invitation. When the world built on human certainty begins to shake, the soul begins to look upward again. Not towards religion as performance or tradition, but towards God as living reality. The fire does not simply remove what is false, it drives the heart back to its origin. It drives the soul back to its origin. It reminds us that we were never meant to build life around ourselves alone. Scripture captures this beautifully when it says, "For our God is a consuming fire. That phrase does not describe a God who delights in destruction. It describes a God who burns away illusions. The divine presence exposes what cannot endure so that what is true can stand without corruption. When human pride, control, and self-sufficiency begin to dissolve, something else becomes possible. Humility, love, peace, clarity, a return to source. And return is the key word here. The spiritual journey is often misunderstood as some complicated path that requires special knowledge or rare insight. But the deeper reality is much simpler. The movement toward God is not about becoming something entirely new. It's about coming back. It's about coming back to what was always meant to guide us. Beneath the noise and chaos of the world, beneath the ambitions and fears that shaped our identities, there has always been a quiet awareness calling us home. Try to grasp that for just a second. A quiet awareness calling us back home. That awareness is the Spirit. It whispers beneath the chaos, through the chaos. It reminds us that meaning cannot be engineered through some system alone. It reminds us that the human soul was designed to live in relationship with the divine source of life itself. When the outer structures burn away, that whisper becomes easier and easier to hear, and many of you are already hearing it. Some of you are afraid of it. Some of you are rejecting it outright. And some of you are very much living it right now. And for many people, that moment feels like loss. And that's because relationships change, careers shift, institutions crumble, cultural expectations dissolve. The framework that once defined success or security may no longer provide the same sense of direction. But spiritual history teaches us something important. When the outer world becomes unstable, the inner world becomes essential. When the structures of man weaken, the presence of God becomes the only foundation that does not move. This is why the burning of the old ways is not ultimately a tragedy. It's an invitation. It's an unfolding. It is a moment where humanity is being asked a simple question again. Where will you place your trust? In systems that change with time, or in the eternal source that does not change at all? This is your invitation to return to God.